When hip-hop was born here on the streets of New York, detractors called it a passing fad. Some 5 decades later, this fad continues inspiring all sorts of cultural movements, from visual arts to dancing to another form of music rooted in performance, vocabulary, and insults. Tonight, we highlight a key influential figure in the world of battle rap, a man known as ARP. If modern battle rap were a story told in chapters, Chapter 1 would be written in the 1980s and 90s, an art form featured in the 2002 movie 8 Mile.
But I know something about you. You went to Cranbrook. That's a private school. What's the matter, dog? You in Paris? This guy's a gangster? His real name's Clarence.
While hip-hop was the umbrella of the new genre, it was a tree out of which sprung multiple branches of culture, from graffiti to DJing to breakdancing to battle rap. In the midst of the chapter of creation, growing up on Staten Island was a kid who would grow into the man now known as ARP, eventually to create one of the most impactful modern-day battle rap platforms. Back on Staten Island in the 1980s, he was just listening, observing, and learning. Local inspiration, he says, was easy to find. In Chapter 2, you could call it the elevation of a street style.
Go watch the Notorious movie with Biggie, you know, the depiction of him. You're going to see before his record deal.
And just as all politics is local, so too was battle rap, a house-to-house fight.
He's going from corner to corner, neighborhood to neighborhood, battle rapping. Like, a lot of these artists had to do that just to show who they were.
Even after local corners were won, competitors were waiting in the next neighborhood. A talented battle rapper knows how to get the live audience to react. He says outsiders often mistake the art of battle rap for an exchange between two rappers trying to degrade each other.
There's a step before that, too. The step before that is just who can move the crowd better, right? What's the definition of MC?
Eric B. and Rakim even had a song named after the importance of the MC. The next chapter of the battle rap story took years to develop. With a respect for the art, multiple brands popped up promoting battle rap and its energy while trying to find a sustainable income model.
Tails, what we doing? 1 round bar fest, so on zone first. They told me to put the clock down, y'all. We're gonna let them get their balls up and see what's going on, and let's get it.
And in 2012, a newcomer stepped into the sharp-edged arena, Rare Breed Entertainment, founded by that kid from Staten Island, ARP.
We did our first event, and it was called New Year Order.
New Year Order had multiple meanings. It was the first event of the new year, but the key, ARP changed the order. Instead of matching top-tier battle rappers against each other, he opened the door to new matchups, breaking away from the formula.
The culture was kind of like locked down to top tier versus top tier, meaning top guy versus top guy, right? Mid-tier guy, mid-range guy versus mid-range guy. Up-and-comer versus up-and-comer. I had a philosophy that was just like, if you're good, you're good. If you're a great rapper, you're a great rapper. If you're talented, you're talented. I don't give two if you're a top tier or up-and-comer. So we mixed some of those matches into our first event, and that's where the word order came into it, New Year Order.
The fresh approach turned heads and created a devout following. He then followed up with the next chapter for Rare Breed Entertainment, events called Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Tears for the amount of work being put into them, and just like the wordplay on order, tears also meant tears. This time, RBE would even match women up against men.
The vibe with me, different, so watch your mouth. 2 guns, I nickname her Unforgettable, but I never leave home without a doubt. Big candle.
Charlie Clips versus Farrah Funeral. But the ladies have just as much stake in battle rap as well. They get fierce. They get extremely fierce, and they have the same attributes as the guys. Aggression, talent, stage performance, wit.
While there's often camaraderie off stage, he says animosity on stage can also boil over into real life. Now, I imagine people who are top tier are proud about it and have egos about it. How do they feel? How did you convince them to put themselves in a situation where an up-and-comer could dethrone them?
Same way I would get you to work with me, offer you that $4 million salary. So
that'll work. Chapter 4 would be followed by an epic Chapter 5, RBE's event called Max Out, highlighting the biggest of battle rap legends, all known to be masters of storytelling and respected for their track record and authenticity. ARP likens it to a showdown between superheroes.
If I ask you, who's your favorite Avenger? Oh, the Hulk, because of this. Who's your favorite battle rapper? All right, Hitman Holla, because of his aggression. Ill Will, because of his performance and charisma.
When it was hot over here, we took a spot over there. Coke so white, ARP was like, yeah, what y'all got over there?
Big K, because of his punchlines. Show Off, because of his realness. It's supposed to be the biggest thing of the year. The biggest battle rappers on that stage, the biggest matchups that people want to see at that time.
Like this showdown between Cassidy and Hitman Holla, two of the highest paid battle rappers in the world. And true to form, Max Out is also a play on words.
When we announced the first main event to the first Max Out, which was Cassidy versus Hitman Holla, everybody was like, oh, which really means you maxed out your credit cards.
The pinnacle of RBE's contribution to battle rap also gave birth to ARP's infamous tagline.
Anytime there was a big moment that the fans erupted or the venue just went crazy or a battle rapper delivered something epic, I would pick up the microphone and I would scream to the crowd, do you believe? Watching the whole crowd go crazy and enjoy what we're delivering to them.
Chapter 6 brings us to today and allows ARP and Rare Breed Entertainment to enjoy the journey they've had, now recognized year after year as one of the top platforms in battle rap, including being named League of the Year by Fox 5 last year. It's a moment the kid from Staten Island is relishing.
Battle Rap League of the Year. A lot of leagues did good things, but to us, none did more than Rare Breed Entertainment. Being able to put on Max Outs and other big events, what do you think?
Man, I think they're well-deserved. Congratulations to Rare Breed Entertainment. We're looking forward to seeing what you got going on next year.
That's amazing. That's huge. I told you I started this on passion. Fast forward through business and millions of views and a worldwide fan base to Fox 5 saying you're the #1 league. I don't know, but when you listen to it like that, I hope you understand where it's just like, yeah, it means a lot.
A proud gesture, but every good story has its ending. And with RBE seemingly shifting its focus away from its usual busy schedule to one-off events, Chapter 7 leaves some wondering if the ride for RBE is coming to an end. Who better to ask than ARP himself?
I'm really enjoying being away and having the run that we had. So part of me is just like, man, why should I step back in the ring? You know, when I walked out like Floyd, you know, I walked out feeling undefeated as far as what I had to endure, right?
If he walks, ARP says, he knows one thing for sure will be staying.
Battle rap is never gonna go away.
Arthur Chien, Fox 5 News.